Welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Tomorrow, is this tomorrow? Tomorrow marks 3 weeks? Tomorrow marks 3 weeks since Putin invaded Ukraine. And the Russian military still remains bogged down, so they've changed their tactics to just unadulterated terrorism. Now, the Kremlin denies that they're targeting the civilian population directly, but Kyiv mayor and former heavyweight champion Vitaly Klitschko politely disagrees.
Putin says he's only targeting military targets. Bull. Sorry.
No need to apologize, champ. And with Ukrainian cities, especially Kyiv, under constant attack, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky gave a virtual address to Congress this morning. Now, if you haven't seen it, it's worth watching. The ultimate thrust of Zelensky's appeal was to thank Biden for what he's done so far, but also to call on Biden to do much more. And for that call, he switched to English.
As the leader of my nation, I am addressing the President Biden. You are the leader of the nation, of your great nation. I wish you to be the leader of the world. Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace. Thank you. Slava Ukraini.
You know it was a powerful speech when that many old people jumped to their feet. There are knees in that room that were alive during the Roosevelt administration. And in response today, Biden announced $800 million in new military aid to Ukraine. That is remarkable, not only because of how fast he moved to get them what they needed, but at no point did he use the phrase, "I would like you to do us a favor, though." Now, the aid package includes more of what we've already been giving the Ukrainians, including Javelin, anti-tank, and Stinger anti-aircraft missiles. And if that doesn't work, we'll bust out the most potent weapon in the American arsenal, the T-shirt cannon. Oh yeah. You watch yourself. You watch yourself, Vlad, or we will pelt you with Mets crew necks that are all XL. Now, later. Let's earn it. Watch where you point that. Russia has been desperate for supplies and weapons, and they were just dealt another blow today when it was announced that Queen Elizabeth will no longer lend Moscow 3 ancient swords. That has got to be the most British sanction of all time. Vladimir Putin will no longer be receiving any bejeweled rapiers, nor shall any of his cream be clotted. And young Russians in need of discipline and love will have to do without flying nannies and chimney sweeps. Chim you. Magic. Lots of companies have pulled out of Russia, but one American franchise is staying. 190 Papa John's restaurants in Russia are still open and selling pizzas. That's crazy. They call Papa John's a restaurant? Now, the brand is suspending corporate operations, but the vast majority of the franchises in the country will keep cranking out the salty bath mats they call pizza because they're primarily owned by Russians. That's right, they're so Russian, they've even updated the slogan to better ingredients, better pizza, just kidding, is potato. No. Come on, there you go. Wow. I think that landed over in the Winter Garden. The head of the American company which oversees these Russian franchises explained why they've decided to keep operating, saying the vast majority of Russian people are very clear-headed and understand the dark gravity of the situation they're in. At the end of the day, they appreciate a good pizza. Adding, unfortunately, we serve Papa John's. But yesterday, Russia suffered the most painful loss of all because my beloved parent company, Paramount, has announced plans to suspend operations in Russia. That's right, Russia!
Yeah! Get out of here. Come on, get it. Get it. Show
You
it.
step out of line and the good people of Paramount will snap into action. Couple of weeks after, make sure everybody else has done it. We just don't have a very good signal up on the mountain. We didn't know what was going on. And I gotta say, I think this might be the thing that ends the war. Putin's bound to surrender the minute he hears he's losing access to a mountain of entertainment. Say das vidanya to all 6 seasons of iCarly, Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles, and the jewel of the Paramount empire, The Love Guru. Featuring yours truly as a hockey announcer, a subject I know nothing about. No idea what I was saying. And you know what? If this war doesn't stop immediately, I'm going to extend the sanctions on The Love Guru to include every nation on Earth. That's right, no one gets to see this movie that I am very proud of until the war ends. And not just this war, all wars. No, I must for peace. I'm going to throw Bewitched in there too. I don't know who made that one, but it's time they pull that from the Russian market and my IMDb page. All this economic pain has prompted Russia to say, right back at you, comrade. Because yesterday, Russia announced that they're hitting Biden, Blinken, and other top U.S. officials with sanctions. Oh, that's adorable. They're doing their own sanctions. It's like when you give your kid a bubble lawnmower, and they're like, I'm a world power too. And you sure are, buddy. You're doing a great job. These sanctions work the same way as ours do. So for anyone on the list, any assets they hold in Russia will be frozen, and they are prohibited from entering the country, which would be a threat if anyone wanted to go to Russia right now. Not a lot of people traveling to spring break in Yakutsk. Now, the number one on the sanction list is President Biden, sort of, because the Russians sanctioned Joseph Robinette Biden, which sounds like the president, but as Jen Psaki explained,
I would first note that President Biden is a junior, so they may have sanctioned his dad. May he rest in peace.
Got you there, Jack. No, that's, please. Joseph Robinette Biden is my dad. I'm a little junior mint named after my pops, Joseph Robinette Biden Sr. He was named after his pops, Joseph Robinette Biden, the prequel. Family was so poor we could only afford one name. Also shared one pair of pants and 3 shoes we kept on rotation. Tough to get around town, we cleaned up the 3-legged race. No, I'm serious, folks. We won all kinds of taffy. Now, right now, Russia is mainly targeting political figures, but that might change. Their foreign ministry announced that it intends to sanction more U.S. officials, military leaders, lawmakers, and members of the media who are critical of the country. Members of the media who are critical of Russia? Why, that's me. I better get a sanction. I'm going to be so mad if John Oliver gets banned from Russia and I don't. He only criticizes Putin once a week. We shouldn't even be in the same sanction category. He gets sanctioned every year. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Michael Bublé and Rose Matafeo.